Welcome back. This is episode 18 of the My Pet Care video show. In today's show, we'll hear about allergies in pets and we'll learn how to trim your cat's nails. We'll hear about cruciate ligament injuries in dogs. We'll learn how you can examine your own pet. And I'll offer you my quick pet care tip for this episode. I'm John Sheridan, and this is the show that helps everyone with an interest in the management and care of companion animals, especially pet owners just like you, to keep your animals fit, happy and healthy members of the family. Mild allergies like hay fever are very common in humans, but they can also play a major role in more severe conditions such as asthma. In some people, severe allergies to environmental or dietary allergens can sometimes result in a life-threatening reaction. A variety of allergies can also affect our pets. Here's a clip in which Dr. Gary Block tells us more and offers some valuable advice.
Dr. Gary Block, you're co-owner of the Ocean State Veterinary Specialist. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Thanks for having me.
Got some little kittens here to help us out today. So what causes allergies?
Allergies occur when the body over-responds to normal substances in the environment. It can be pollens, molds, grasses, dander. Even food can trigger allergies in dogs and cats.
So what are some signs to look for if they are suffering from allergies?
The classic signs of allergies in dogs and cats are actually different than people. The most common signs you'll see in dogs and cats are they will not only itch themselves excessively, but they will chew at their feet, they may pull out their fur, they may rub their muzzle along the ground excessively.
So definite signs you would see for sure.
Yes, it's important to know though that those signs are not always seen with allergies, and there are other causes for itching that aren't related to allergies.
Okay, so we have these two adorable kittens here, and may not be so cute to someone, I guess, who is suffering from allergies. What can a pet owner do if they do have them and want to be around these cute little guys?
Yeah, it's tough to say goodbye to a pet once you've taken it into your home as a family member. First thing I would say is it's important to remember that animals sometimes unfairly get accused of being the source for people's allergies when there's actually other things in the environment responsible. So seeing an allergist is really important to find out if you're truly allergic to pets. Other simple things you can do are creating an allergy-free zone, such as a bedroom where the pets are never allowed, using a HEPA filter in your vacuum, and trying to avoid a lot of carpeting and drapes where dander and allergens can accumulate.
And so what about treating pets for allergies? What are some things that folks can do?
Pets can be treated for allergies very effectively and simply. For mild allergies, we'll often treat pets with antihistamines, diet changes, supplements. More severely affected animals may need to be put on prescription medications, and we even can do something called hyposensitization, just like in people with allergies, where we desensitize the immune system to the offending allergens.
Now for the how-to clip for this episode. In an earlier episode of the My Pet Care video show, we learned how to trim your dog's nails. Today let's find out how and when to do the same for your cat.
Hello, I'm Dr. Mike. Today we are going to learn how to trim your cat's nails. It is important to understand that your cat's nails are always growing. Some nails may actually grow too long and create a problem. For example, indoor cats playing on the carpet can catch their nail and tear it, resulting in bleeding or possibly injuring the actual toe. I occasionally have had owners bring their cat to my hospital because of an infection on one or more of the toes. What actually happened is that the nails grew so long they curved into the pad and created an infection. These can be very painful and possibly require medications such as antibiotics to heal. Naturally, we can help avoid these type of problems by learning a safe and proper way to trim your cat's nails. To get started, you will need a pair of nail trimmers. There are many types available, both large and small. For cats, I prefer a smaller pair. Also, it is a good idea to have styptic powder in case you accidentally cut the nail too short and make it bleed. Once you have your supplies, you'll want to find a comfortable place. Getting your cat used to having their feet handled will make the procedure easier for both of you. Having a friend or family member assist you in holding is always helpful. Some cats may need to be wrapped in a towel or small blanket. The easiest way to expose your cat's nail is to press on the pad. This will extend it outward. The base of the nail is called the quick and contains blood vessels and nerves. Cutting into this area is painful and can cause bleeding. For these reasons, we want to avoid this area. Once you have identified the proper place to trim, it is easy. Those who only have human nail clippers will need to turn it sideways to fit the nail. After the nail is trimmed, you may want to use a small file to smooth the edges. Always remember to praise your cat or give a small treat to help create a positive experience.
In the early 1960s, when I was a young clinician in practice, I became aware of sudden onset hind leg lameness in dogs caused by a rupture of one of the important ligaments, the crucial ligament, located in the dog's knee joint. Since then, the diagnosis and treatment of cruciate ligament injuries has improved dramatically. Here's a clip in which Dr. Brian Beal tells us more.
Well, a cruciate ligament is really probably the most important stabilizer of the dog knee. It really is what keeps the knee stable. Every time the dog walks on his leg, this cruciate ligament is holding the two bones in the proper alignment. So if it starts to tear, basically what happens is the dog's knee is starting to shift, and every time the dog takes a step, the knee shifts in an inappropriate direction, and this can lead to arthritis down the line and a lot of pain. The dog ligament tends to wear out over time. So essentially the ligament has a partial tear to begin with, and then it slowly tears over time until it eventually completely ruptures. Now, so what is the cause? Well, it's probably multifactorial, but it's actually a degenerative process that occurs. Different types of things that can cause a cruciate to rupture in the dog. Part of it has to do with breed, the conformation of the dog. In other words, do they have very straight legs, or do they have more bent leg posture? Part of it has to do with just genetics, and then also a lot of it has to do with the actual anatomy. There's other factors that can also contribute. Certainly if a dog is a real hard charging dog and running around real hard, they may increase the force in their ligament. Another way to increase force in the ligament is if they're carrying too much weight. So if they're overweight, that's going to increase the likelihood that they can tear their ligament.
Now for my quick pet care tip for this episode. Nick Bomber is a veterinary surgeon at the Dick Veterinary School in Edinburgh. Here's a clip in which he shares some important tips for looking after your dog, and in particular how to examine your pet to make sure, as far as you're able, that he's fit and healthy.
So they say that owners get very used to examining the dog. As we've already discussed, we talk about looking at the mouth and lifting the lips up so the dog gets used to that. Also just getting used to them looking at the eyes and looking into the ears, because a lot of dogs, if they're not used to it, don't like that, and actually can find that a bit distressing. And obviously you want it that the owner at home can both check their animal, and also when it comes to the vets, it's not distressed by you examining it in places it's used to being examined in. So we check the mouth, the eyes, the ears, come down here, get used to lifting a dog's paws and looking between, looking at the pads for any cuts, looking between the pads, also looking at the nails as well. So the dog's used to having that done, and it won't get upset. And also go down to the back feet as well. Don't forget the back feet. Often they're more tickly than the front feet. So try and get them used to examining the back feet as well. And get used to also rubbing their hands along the dog. So if any lumps or bumps, if they're handling the dog all the time, if they get a new lump or bump, then they're used to detecting it. Also look under the tail at the bottom is also normal. Again, a lot of dogs don't like that. So if you get them used to it from a young age, then they'll allow you to do that. Another big thing we have is dogs with their weight. And we see a lot of fat dogs, and it's very important that owners get used to examining their dog and assessing their dog's weight. And obviously this dog is a very slim dog, so he looks, and his build makes him look thin anyway. But you want to be able to feel that, you want to put your hands over the ribs and make sure you can feel the ribs under there. You also want to be able to have a waist on your dog, so you should have a tuck in. Obviously, if you had something like a Labrador or a Beagle, something like that, you wouldn't necessarily see as much of a waist as in this dog, but you should see, a waist tucking in there.
So what's my quick pet care tip? Well, it's this. Get into the habit of following Nick Bomber's advice and give your pet a quick but thorough physical examination on a weekly basis. You will both enjoy the routine and you'll quickly be able to spot any abnormal changes sooner rather than later. Well, that's about it for now. I'm John Sheridan and this is the My Pet Care video show. See you next time.